What is happening, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Heavy Water 77. I am Jerry, and with me, as always, my partner in crime here, Joseph Staub. How are you doing, brother?
Doing great, doing great. We're powering through here. We're
We
almost
are.
back to some sticks, folks. We're
Yes,
almost there.
right. Getting through all these solo. We got a lot of solo stuff still coming up eventually, but the cool thing about venturing into the solo era is that, a lot of it I didn't know. So that's kind of cool that we're finding out, you know. And one thing, yeah, just I got to thank Joe for this because I'm finding out a lot of things about Styx, which I never, as I said, I never knew before, like the Son of Edge and stuff like that. So, I'm loving the fact that we're learning more about one of our favorite bands as we're doing this. I think it's really cool, and I hope you all been enjoying it too. Today we are doing JYO, the James Young Band, actually, Raised by Wolves. And Joe, you got anything on this album, man?
A little bit. So this album came out in 1995 on Absolute or White House Records. It's one of them owns the other, I guess. It's the same label that put out JY's last album, out on Day Pass. And yeah, so this is the one and only album recorded by the James Young Group. It was a full band effort. And as we get through the songs, you'll be able to hear that it is a full band effort. It's not just a JY solo album. And the band for this is JY on guitars and vocals, Michael Barron on guitars and vocals, Hank Horton on bass and vocals, Lou DePasqua on keyboards and vocals, and Ken Hark on drums. So that's the band here as the James Young Group. I don't really have a breakdown of like what guys sang on what songs because you do hear
Yeah,
some different voices,
right.
so I don't really have an individual breakdown. There's not a lot of information about this album, um, just kind of some reviews and some people talking about it, but really not anything like we had for Out on a Day Pass where JY did that big interview where he talked about all the different
Right.
songs and stuff.
Mhm.
Really not as much information about this one, so um, yeah, so that's about all I have, unfortunately, for this one.
Yeah, I mean, it sucks that not much is known about him. I tried looking for a physical copy of this, and there's nowhere to be found. I don't even know if they even released a physical copy of this. I don't
Oh,
know.
I
Maybe I'll
found
check on
some
E. Did you really? You gotta send me some
Discogs.
links, man. Oh, I can't never look on Discogs for some reason. I
Yeah,
never do.
they have one. They have, and I was thinking about getting it. They have this. The same seller was selling almost mint copies of this and Out on a Day Pass for $20
Wow.
each on CD.
You gotta send me that link, dude.
I'll send it over to you.
Please. I'm gonna go up front right now and say this. There's some fucking great songs on this album. There's a couple that are so. There's one or two that are, yeah. But I think for the not to be a spoiler, but I think this is a pretty solid album. I
I
enjoy
agree.
it.
I do. I
Yeah.
agree.
I think there's some times where, he's trying to find that Tommy to sing some of his vocals,
Yep.
There's a guy, I don't know who it is, but he sounds just like Tom. If Tommy and Glenn Burtnick had a baby, I think that's what it would sound like.
I
You know what I mean?
literally have that note written
Do
down
you
for one of
really?
the
Okay, I'm
songs.
sorry. Oh, whoops, I blew
Yeah,
that.
no, I completely agree with
Uh,
you. Yeah, that's and there's one song we'll get to later where I'm like, who let Dennis in the studio? But
I probably had the same note too for that one. But let's get to the tracks, man. With the opening
awesome.
track, Faith, Love, and Hope, man.
Cool rocking track again for pretty much every time we've reviewed a JY album. He knows how to open up an album. He really does. Solid opening, a little bit. It has some different mix of sounds. It has those keyboard sounds in there. It's kind of almost reminds me of like some Deep Purple organ kind of sounds.
All right.
Um, uh, it definitely is different from the previous JY albums because we hear those harmony vocals. We hear multiple vocalists throughout this entire album, and I think that is both a positive and a negative at some points.
Yeah.
I think on this song, it's definitely a positive to get those multiple layers of vocals. You still hear JY's very recognizable voice coming through, but you also hear some other band members vocally as well. Some great harmonies on this. And overall, I just think it's a cool rocking track to open up the album.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. I love how it opens with that the vocal harmonies I think are really good. The dual vocal, however you want to call it. I think it, great rockin' riff. I mean, typical JY. Like I'm assuming JY does the majority of the solos.
I
There's some
think
solos in
so.
here that don't sound like JY maybe a little bit, but I think for the most part it's him. But anyway, whoever does this, I'm pretty sure this is a JY solo. It's fucking awesome, dude. And the band, I think he's got a solid band behind him. I think. it's kind of I like how some of these songs have these weird like 10-second different endings, you know what I mean, to the songs.
Yeah.
I dug it. And yeah, the bass and drums, like I said, are really, really complimenting the guitars and vocals. Solid, great way to start off the album, man. I love this song, man. Great tune. So let's get started let's get started. Let's get to the next track. Don't Get Mad.
Keeping up the momentum here. Cool bluesy rockin' track. Again, it's great to hear multiple different vocal styles on a JY album. Um, there's some ripping guitars on this track. The solo is blistering, and then it goes into this cool little like 5 to 10 second bass solo. There's this little bass riff that happens, and they're really cool. Like I said, it's a little bit different from what we've seen from JY so far on his own. You can definitely tell there's some additional songwriters here. That there's some other kind of minds creativity going into this. And really, I think, as we'll see, at least on the first half of this album, I think that definitely a benefit. You can hear some different kind of styles and still keep it up with momentum here. I think this is another really solid rocking track.
100% agree again. The vocals are cool. Michael Barron, is that his name?
Yep.
Barron. I
Aaron,
mean, it
I'm
says
not sure.
vocals for a lot of them. I wonder, like you said, if the whole band is
Yeah.
singing. I don't know. I assume this is the Michael Barron guy. I could be wrong. If I'm wrong, please let me know. Because there's a lot of experts out here that probably know more about this than we do. But
I'm
give us
sure if
some
I'm sure the if the like the liner notes on the CD probably say which guy sang on what
right.
songs and stuff, but neither one of us have that available to us right now. So,
And the solo on this one is freaking amazing, dude. I
mm-hmm.
love that fuzzy distortion sound using the guitar. It's almost grungy sounding, if
Yeah,
that makes any sense. A
it's a
little
very
bit. There's that
90s
time
sounding
period. Yeah,
guitar.
exactly. I wish I was aware of this album before because I'm enjoying these first two songs, man. It's 2 for 2, man. This is a banger. Again, it's got that little different little 10-second ending, man, with like something weird. I dig that stuff. So yeah, another great tune, man. So let's get Into the Fire.
Yeah, this is probably my favorite track on the album. It's a slick rocker with there's a great groove throughout it. JY's vocals are great on this one, and another great solo. This is just a really solid. It's a longer song, but I think it keeps the momentum going throughout the song. Great groove throughout, riffs, solo, and everything. And I just think this is a really solid song. Like I said, this is probably either my favorite or tied for my favorite on the album.
Yeah, it's a little different musically than the last two. Got a lot of synths in this one, and that I wouldn't call it a synth bass, but it's definitely some kind of weird synthesizer
Mm-hmm.
bass. I don't know what it is, but
It's
yeah,
definitely
it works.
through
Yeah,
some kind of like effects or something.
yeah, I dig this song too. I don't like it as good much as the last two, but it's a solid tune, man. James, the vocals are really good. Nice harmonies and riffs. Um, just I just think those first two songs are like the cream of the crop on this album. Just a decent song, man.
Yeah.
Definitely not filler, way above filler. But and that middle part with the solo is really different, and which I dig, man. That's what I'm loving about this is there's all kinds of different styles. You hear a little Sticks, you hear a little JY, you hear a little, I don't know, the people that are, with him doing this album, maybe, I don't know nothing about either one of these or any of those people that are with him, but
Mm-hmm.
you can definitely tell, like you mentioned earlier, this is a band effort, man, and I'm digging it, man. What else I got on it? It's a long song. I think this might be no, it's not the longest song, I don't think, but it's definitely one of the longer songs. Yeah, I mean, it's cool. Yeah, I dig it. So let's get to the next song. Heart's Not the Same.
Yeah, I mean, this is like you said, this is him trying to get that kind of Tommy acoustic sound going. Right here is where you get that. If Tommy and Glenn Burtnick
Yeah.
had a son, this is what he'd sound like. And I think it works on this one. It's a kind of bluesy acoustic tune. I think the vocals are fantastic. I think, especially towards the chorus where he hits some of those high notes, I think he does a
Yeah.
really good job with it. And then it kicks into this fantastic solo when it really kind of gets a little heavier towards the end. I think this is an acoustic kind of ballady tune done right on this album. We might see later an acoustic ballady tune done not so right. But I think this is definitely the correct way to do a song like this. I think this is a really, really solid song as well.
Yeah. I think this is JY's response to Damn Yankees Come Again, I think, maybe. He has that kind of vibe to it, you know what I mean? A
Mm-hmm.
little bit. Yeah, I love the acoustic opening. Love the guy's voice, whoever it is singing. Yeah, I guess JY is not really your love song ballad singer, so it works whoever's singing this, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a good tune, man. And you mentioned the Tommy sounding, definitely. The Damn Yankees, it kind of, like I said, is maybe his response to Come Again. I love the bass sound on this one, man. I don't know who the bass player is either, but I think he does a solid job all through this album. Again, this clocks in around what, a little bit more than 5 minutes long.
Hmm.
You can just tell from the beginning that power ballad chorus is eventually coming, when the guitars and drums came in. Sure enough, it came in, and yeah, this is a solid song, dude. I'm with you. I dig this song a lot. So man, fucking great album so far. So let's get to Amazing Grace.
Yep, we're 4 for 4 so far, and we're not. Um, this is where the album
Yeah.
starts to lose me a little bit. This is definitely a front loaded album. Um, this is probably the worst song on the album, in my opinion. The cheesy lyrics are just god awful. I mean, it's rough, man. It's some rough lyrics on this one. Um, who would ever think to you should use Amazing Grace as something to describe a woman named Grace? Ooh,
Right. Yeah.
shocking, revolutionary. The production on this song is just awful. The weird like hey at the beginning, and
Yeah.
it sounds like something that Kiss tried to do on like Crazy Nights or Hot in the
Oh man,
Shade.
that's not
Um,
that bad, is it? Oh wow,
the beginning, that weird section, yeah, it is.
it
And I think
is.
there's some
Yeah.
hand claps and there's some it's there's some choices on this song, let me tell you. And my choice is to hit the skip button on this one.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it kind of starts out, I don't really dislike the claps and all that. I'm thinking this is going to be a cool JY rocking tune. But yeah, it just falls flat. Probably the first song that I would classify as definite filler and not killer. I don't think it sucks. It's not, god awful sucked, but just doesn't go anywhere, man. Boring. Of course, the solos are really good, but yeah, this is just meh. You know what I mean? Yeah, just the first chink in the armor, sort of say.
Yeah.
So I'm with you. I think I might like it maybe a little bit better than you, but I'm with you though. It's not the best on the album. Then we go to Love and Love Alone.
Yeah, this one definitely leans into the pop side of pop rock. It almost kind of sounds like something you might hear on Edge of the Century. There's some little bit of that kind ofness to it, but not a good song from Edge of the Century. um, I think this is filler and not killer filler. I'll say. This is 2 tracks in a row that I'm just like, yeah, we're losing momentum here a little bit, boys. Let's get this thing back into
Yeah.
gear here. We're losing it.
Yeah, I'm with you. Again, we're taking another trip to Averageville here. Really strong synth tone to it. A big chorus, but yeah, it just falls a little flat for me. I like the bass work on this song, though. I think it sounds
Mhm.
really cool. This is one of those songs that maybe if the guys from Styx put their fingerprints on it, it may be a little bit better, if you know what I mean. The Styx treatment,
Mhm.
I mean, I could take it or leave this song, but I would probably leave it more than take it. Yeah, just not great. So let's move on to the next track. Let's Do It Everywhere.
Yeah, this is just a solid rocker. This is an album track all the way through. Um, Definitely leaning more to the killer filler side of filler on this one. Um, I it's just a solid track. It's definitely a big step up from the last two, but doesn't quite reach the highs of the first side of the album for me.
After the last two songs, I think we're back in business. Heavy
Hmm.
guitar riff and the vocals, I think, are amazing. I love the chorus. It's got a killer chorus. The guitar fills, I think, are fantastic. Rhythm section is nailing it on all cylinders. Short song, but it's a really good song. Again, I can't compliment the solos enough on here. It's some great guitar work on this album, whether the song sucks or not. It's just all the guitar work I think is fantastic. Sometimes great guitar solo can make a song better than and this is one of the songs I think where the guitar solo really takes it over the top. Yeah, it's a great rock and roll tune, man. I mean, it's not as good as the songs on the first side, but it is a solid tune.
Hmm.
So let's move into Heaven in Your Heart.
Oh boy, who let Dennis in the building? Yeah, nope, wrong, bad, no thanks. I saw a review on some website where somebody said that this was the best song on the album, and I said, "Oh, they must love Cornerstone then." Um,
Uh,
this is a classic shitty Dennis ballad right here. This is the worst of Dennis, not the best of Dennis here, and
yeah.
Yeah, it's repetitive, it's cheesy, it's just not good. It is, like I said, Heart's Not the Same was this kind of thing done well. Heaven in Your Heart is this kind of thing done not so well.
Yeah, I'm gonna like it just a tad bit better than you, but I hear what you're saying. I do dig the harmonies again. Again, this is one of those songs I think where you got a Tommy and Glenn baby here singing, which it isn't a bad thing. When the guitar and the drums come in around the 2 minute mark, I think the song kind of picks up a little bit. I would turn the keyboards down a lot, I think. I don't know, maybe it's just me, but
Oh yeah,
if I had my say, I would, there's some it just makes it sound so artificial, in my opinion, if that makes sense. It's weird. Just didn't need it. But all in all, it's a decent tune. Definitely not the best on the album, but kind of again, I like the kind of the last minute of the song. I think musically it sounds good, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely not a stone cold classic by any means. So let's end it with City of Hope.
yeah. This is a pretty decent closer. Actually, I noticed because Discogs called this City of Hope. My digital version of this called the City of Hope, but the title is actually called City of Holy Faith.
Oh,
Um,
really?
yeah, it's weird because like the back cover of the album, I found a picture of the back cover of the album and it says City of Holy Faith, but the listing on Discogs says City of Hope, and then my digital copy says City of Hope. So I don't know what's going on, but the lyrics in the song are City of Holy Faith. So I don't know, but um,
Yeah.
yeah, it's a decent closure. The lyrics are very pointed on this one about people using religion to gain power and stuff like that. And yeah, it goes on a little too long for me, but I think there's a really, really cool breakdown in the middle where it kind of goes into this little different section. I think that's really solid. And then it closes out pretty well. Like you said, they've done some really cool stuff towards the end of some of these songs where they mix up the instruments a little bit, do a little bit of a different kind of outro. And this is another song where they do that as well. And yeah, I think it's a solid enough closure. Not going out on quite as much of a high as some of his other closers have been. But a solid enough song. Definitely one of the better, definitely probably one of, if not the best songs on side two of this. Um, Probably closer to, I would say this and Let's Do It Everywhere, the two that get closest to the high points of side one.
I'm gonna like this song a little bit more than you. Matter of fact, I think this is the best song on the album.
Okay.
It's a long one, of course. Again, you got JY back on vocals here. The drums, I think, are really cool in the beginning with it. It goes really well with the vocals.
Mm-hmm.
And what's really cool about JY's voice, when he gets that low register in his vocals, you know what I mean? That
Mm-hmm.
low notes. It sounds really
Yeah.
fucking good,
Yeah,
man.
he kind of does that in that like middle section there. He
Yeah.
has that really
I
low.
don't think I don't think he gets enough credit as a vocalist. But I think he's only limited of what kind of song he can sing. I don't think he can really do a love ballad or you know what I mean. He can't doesn't have that Tommy voice where he can do different things. But I think vocal wise, he is solid on this album. And this song, I
Mm-hmm.
think it sounds great.
Yeah.
Um, I even like the spoken. I'm not a spoken word fan in songs, but I actually dug the spoken word part in this in the middle. With some really cool ass bass work, man. And I don't know who did
Mm-hmm.
that laugh, but that laugh is really cool. It sounds like maybe it was a JY laugh. It kind of sounded like it, kind of like the Queen of Spades laugh.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I think this is a great way to end the album. I love this song, man. I would, like I said, at my last notes, I would actually love to own a physical copy of this, but I can't find one. So hopefully
I
one
will
day,
send you that link as soon as we are done
please
here.
do. I am actually adding the song to my playlist tomorrow, so
Awesome.
that's how much I like this song. But anyway, what'd you give this album, man? Let's just do a rating out of five, man. What would you give it?
I would say I'd give this a solid like 3.5 out of 5. So
Yeah,
a solid. There's definitely some low points, like we talked about. There's probably three songs here that I would definitely not go back to, but there is at least four or five songs that I definitely would go back to. I think I would put these on a playlist for sure. Um, Definitely a solid way to wrap up JY's solo career. This is the last JY album that we're going to be covering here on the channel. The third and final JY solo album, even though this is the James Young group, it's still a JY solo
yeah.
album for our intents and purposes here. But yeah, I'd say this is a solid. JY has been pretty consistent. All three of the albums have, I would say, City Slicker was the best of the early ones that we reviewed from any of the guys.
Yeah.
And then Out on a Day Pass and Raised by Wolves both had some really good high points with a few songs in there that I wasn't a huge fan of, but definitely a better track record than any of the other guys we've covered so far.
Right. Yeah, I definitely think he's definitely been the best of the solo albums so far. There is a really great Tommy one coming up. Spoiler. I love the next Tommy solo album, so that's gonna be fun to do. But yeah, I'd probably give it a 4 out of 5. Yeah, I dig it, man. JY has always been cool. He's always been the coolest member of Styx, regardless, he's always just been that, not really slick, but he always had those cool rocking riffs that just added to the album. Case
Yeah.
in point, Paradise Theater. I mean, the last two songs, Snowblind, Half Penny, Two Penny, just takes the album to another stratosphere, in my opinion, man. So
Yep.
awesome. So that is our review of Raised by Wolves by the James Young Group. Like I said, I don't know the members. Joe mentioned them up earlier, but I'll give props to the band too. This is a really cool band effort. It is the JY band group or whatever. So shout out to the rest of the band. Cool stuff. So what do we got coming up, Joe?
Yeah. We're back in it now. Styx is back, folks. Coming up next, we're going to be recording about the big reunion in '95, talking about Return to Paradise, talking about the greatest hits albums. That's going to be right. We do that. We're going to do that right after Return to Paradise. We might be having some guests on to talk about their experiences with the Styx reunion. So we're really looking forward to this. This is going to be a really great time coming up here to talk about some really, really great parts of Styx history. So I'm really looking forward to that.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, thank you all for subscribing, checking out, leaving some comments, good or bad. And I hope you enjoy it. Like I said, we got a ton of stuff coming up. We aren't going anywhere yet. Got a lot of stuff
Oh
coming.
yeah,
Who knows? We may even like you said, Joe mentioned a couple weeks ago, we might even revisit when we're done. We might go
yeah.
around again, fuck it. So it's been a lot of fun. So like I said, I hope you all been enjoying it. Y'all take care, and we will see you next time to talk about a really great moment in Styx history. In Styx history. Okay, we'll call it, yeah. Ripping off history a little bit there, but
Yeah.
yeah, it works. It fits. But all right, y'all take care. Joe, take it easy, brother.
See you
We
later.
will see you next time.